has the night off. Ned is here to talk about sweat and Gatorade.
Which means it's time to talk about the Dolphins. That's right. You know, day 2 of the Dolphins training camp. Big day for them. Not a big day. Jarvis Williams still a no-show. He's the AWOL, out $3,000 in fines. 2 draft picks did sign, though, Chris Green and Michael Titley. Look over in the stands there. #1 draft pick Randall Hill watched practice the same way he did yesterday through binoculars. No progress on his contract talks. Here's a play you hardly ever see. Dan Marino scrambling. Nice Zubaz undies, Dan. Now, most players dread coming to training camp, but this guy actually enjoys it. Fullback Tony Page takes a positive attitude to camp and the season.
Actually, it feels pretty good to me, you know. It's that time of year again, and you might as well feel good about it. You can't get around it. So I'm excited about what we can get accomplished this year. So I think the most important thing we got out of last season was that we believed in ourselves. We gathered a lot of confidence among one another, and we won a lot of big ball games. And, you know, when you do that, hopefully that kind of, you know, intensity and desire to win can carry over.
Now, of course, training camp takes over for the next month and a half. The regular season begins then. But if you can't wait for some real football action like my good buddy Pee Wee Herman, we give you arena football where everybody wears Zubaz unis. Your biggest enemy in this sport, not the opponent, it's the wall. Merv Mosley catches the ball in a mouthful of cement. Albany in white beats Orlando 28-25. Let's get to baseball. Miami's Alex Fernandez off to a rocky start this season for the White Sox. 4-7, heading into tonight's start in Milwaukee, where the fans were hoping the Brew Crew would roast Alex, and wouldn't you know it, another former Hurricane, Greg Vaughn, connects in the first with 2 aboard. Get out of here. Somebody had money on it, because Alex, as you see, they're paying up there. Alex knocked out in the second, losing 5-zip. Milwaukee leads it 5-4 in the 8th. In Detroit, the Tigers hosting Kansas City. Cecil Fielder cranks one into the upper deck. He's 22nd home of the year, the most in the major leagues. Detroit led 1-0. In the 4th, it's Fielder again. Hasta la vista, baby. His second round trip of the game, number 23 in the year, and it helps Detroit kick Kansas City 6-3. Elsewhere, there you see the 2 scores, 5-4 in the 8th, 6-3 Detroit winners. Minnesota over Boston, 5-4. Toronto beats Texas 6-2. New York in front of California, 1-0 in the first. Tied up 1-1 in the first between Oakland and Baltimore. No score in the second between Cleveland and Seattle. National League, Montreal over L.A. 6-5. Pittsburgh down Cincinnati. Atlanta over St. Louis. New York beats San Diego 6-3. Cubs beat the Astros. San Francisco falls to Philadelphia 1-0. The dream continues for Miami golf pro Bruce Fleischer, now leading the the $1 million New England Classic by 3 shots. Hey, somebody ice down those greens, will you? Ice down the greens. Who ever heard of it? So hot, though, at the U.S. Women's Open in Fort Worth, they got to keep the grass from dying between the rounds. It was 100 in the shade today, 110 in the sun. Leader Pat Bradley using an umbrella to shield her from the sun. She's tied with Joan Pitcock at even par. Nobody under par after 36. Amy Alcott, best round of the tournament, a 68 today. Heavyweight champ Evander Holyfield says he'll consider retiring if he beats Mike Tyson in November. Says he would have accomplished everything he set out to do. Yeah, like make about $60 million bucks. And get your sweet tooth ready. Jose Canseco's latest creation is about here. Yeah, the Jose Canseco candy bar is on its way to your grocery shelves. This is our artist rendition, but we'll show you the real thing in the next day or so. Dan Marino has his own candy bar. I guess it's just a matter of time before Jose got his, and it's bound to be a hit.
Oh, gosh.
You're going to get your own.